I was just trolling through Reddit in the last few days, and I came across this post written by someone by the name of Mask of Man. The post title was, "Has anyone had this peculiar feeling lately?" And rather than editorialize it or cannibalize it for my own, I figured I would just read it as word for word as close as possible as I could give to you. Here it goes. Lately, I've been grappling with a feeling that's hard to articulate. As I drive around, I find myself contemplating the insane technological and social changes on the horizon, and I'm struck by the sense of isolation I feel. I often feel isolated in this temporal awareness, experiencing a sense of liminality, as if I'm at the tail end of a vast epoch of human history. It's like I'm standing at the end culmination of everything history has led up until now, right on the precipice of a radical shift. It's a mix of wistfulness for what is ending and excitement plus some incredulity for what is to come. Together with GPT-4, I have explored this emotion in depth, giving it a name, a formal definition, and even crafting a short passage to encapsulate this experience. We've coined the term vesperance, combining vesper, meaning evening, with esperance, denoting hope or desire. The term captures the dual awareness of an ending era and the hopeful anticipation of a new world yet to be born. The formal definition we settled on was this: vesperance, noun. The solitary emotion of wistful recognition of the present as a fading era, tinged with anticipation for an unrecognizable, transformative future. The following passage, I think, does a really great job of exemplifying it. I went in depth with GPT-4 about how it felt, and we settled on this as a good illustration. Vesperance is that bittersweet moment when you're driving through your quiet college town, windows down, and the air feels thick with possibility. It's the golden hour of an era. And you're actually aware that you're riding the last rays of a setting sun. You look around and see the world in the simplicity of the now, cognizant of the tectonic shifts on the horizon. And in that instant, you're both a poet and a prophet. You feel a sense of loss for this beautiful, imperfect world that doesn't even know it's already a memory. Yet there's a thrill, a pulse of electric anticipation for the unfathomable future that's rushing towards you. Vesperance is the emotional echo in that liminal space, where the nostalgia for what's behind you is tinged with the exhilarating unknown of what lies ahead. It's not just an emotion, it's a narrative, a story where you're both the reader and the protagonist, caught in the poignant pause between chapters, unable to resist turning the page. I hope this resonates with some of you guys out here. I'm really curious to know if any of you can relate to this really odd feeling. It's an intense one, and it felt important enough to delve into. I appreciate any feedback. So that was the post. He obviously added a few comments and edits, and I'm not going to reduplicate all of that, but I wanted to share this with everyone. And now I will editorialize a little bit for myself. What he's talking about is something that I have certainly felt, which is why I wanted to record this and produce a video and share it, because I think that this is really important. This sense of vesperance is what we're all experiencing as we recognize the dying light as the sun sets on an entire era of not just our species, but on this planet. And given the possibility that this is the only planet with life on it, or at least certainly the only one that we know has life on it, there is a magnitude beyond anything we can wrap our minds around about the gathering night that we're going into. Now, as someone who studied fiction and mythology and psychology, the night is an archetype. In Game of Thrones, there was an archetypal kind of mythic reference for the night is dark and full of terror. And of course, that's a little bit cartoonish, but there is truth in it, which is why it resonated. And indeed, many people are terrified of what's to come, whether it's as simple as things are going to change and they're not going to be the same. We might lose our jobs. AI might destroy everything that we know. We might lose control, even our relationship to ourselves, and control over our destiny might be taken from us by our own creation. And that is what is captured in this term vesperance, the golden hour of our civilization, and the recognition that when the new dawn comes, everything will be different. The people we are today will not come out the other side. And I'm not saying necessarily that we're going to be all transhuman or posthuman, although that's looking more and more like a distinct possibility every day. On any given day, you can find several posts about nanotechnology and genetic technology, and it's coming faster and faster. And so while this ritualistic approach into night, this descent into what is coming, feels overwhelming. It is also exciting. It's this weird dichotomy that is captured by this term vesperance. But one thing that I want to leave everyone with is the observation that the dawn always comes. Whether or not we make it happen, and whether or not we survive the night, the dawn comes. And so I will leave you with one final sentiment. Enjoy this sense of vesperance while we have it. This is a once in an eon occurrence. Those we become when this new dawn breaks will be different and forever changed. Much will be asked of us, and we need courage now. So gather your strength. We will need it for this falling night.